My name is Sarah. I'm 35, and until 3 years ago I believed I had the kind of marriage people envied. My husband, Daniel, and I had spent 12 years building a life together in Chicago. We bought our first condo, struggled through layoffs, celebrated promotions, and dreamed about having children someday. I also had a best friend, Emily, who had been part of my life since college. She knew every secret I'd ever trusted another person with. Looking back now, the warning signs were there, but love has a way of turning red flags into excuses. The day everything fell apart wasn't the day Daniel left me. It was the day I learned that the two people I trusted most had been lying to me for months. The divorce was quick because Daniel wanted it that way. He claimed we'd grown apart, but 2 weeks after the papers were signed, social media exposed the truth. There they were, Daniel and Emily, holding hands on a beach in Florida with the caption, "Finally together." Friends who had smiled at me during the divorce already knew about them. Some had attended secret dinners while I was still wearing my wedding ring. The humiliation hurt more than the betrayal. I disappeared from everyone's lives, deleted my accounts, found a better job in corporate compliance, and quietly rebuilt myself. I stopped chasing closure because I realized something important: the happiest revenge isn't making someone suffer. It's becoming someone they can never control again. 3 years passed before my phone lit up with Emily's name. I almost ignored it. Instead, curiosity won. Her voice sounded nothing like the confident woman from those vacation photos. She asked if we could meet because they needed my help. Not wanted, needed. Daniel's construction company was drowning in debt after a failed investment. They had refinanced their home, maxed out credit cards, and were days away from losing everything. Then came the sentence that made me laugh for the first time in years. "Sarah, you're the only person we can trust." Trust. The very thing they had stolen from me was suddenly the one thing they needed back. We met at a small cafe downtown. Daniel looked 10 years older. Emily avoided eye contact. They explained that my new position gave me connections with financial consultants, and they hoped I could recommend someone who might help restructure their business. Then Daniel quietly asked if I would also consider investing because I had always been smart with money. I smiled politely, ordered another coffee, and listened without interrupting. For years I'd imagined screaming at them. Instead, I thanked them for reminding me how far I'd come. I told them I'd think about it and walked away while they believed hope had finally arrived. That evening I reviewed everything they'd told me. Something didn't add up. Public business records showed lawsuits they conveniently forgot to mention. Their company owed suppliers hundreds of thousands of dollars. If I had agreed to invest, I'd have been pouring money into a sinking ship. The next morning I emailed Daniel a list of licensed bankruptcy attorneys, financial counselors, and nonprofit debt advisors. No money. No shortcuts. Just legitimate resources. Along with the email, I wrote one sentence: "Real help solves problems. It doesn't hide them." Then I blocked their numbers again. Months later, mutual friends started reaching out. Daniel complained that I had abandoned him when he needed me most. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. One friend quietly admitted that Emily had encouraged Daniel to leave me because she believed he would become wealthy. Instead, poor decisions and reckless spending had destroyed their marriage. The same people who once whispered about me were now asking how I had stayed so calm. They thought I had planned some elaborate revenge. The truth was much simpler. I refused to rescue the people who had gladly watched me drown. A year later I attended a charity gala hosted by my company. As I greeted guests, I noticed Daniel standing near the entrance. He had come representing another business, and for a second our eyes met. He started walking toward me but stopped after seeing the confidence I carried. There was no anger left inside me. No bitterness. Only peace. He quietly said, "I made the biggest mistake of my life." I simply smiled and wished him well. That sentence had taken him years to say, but I no longer needed to hear it. Today my life looks nothing like the one I cried over. I own a beautiful home in Chicago, lead an incredible team, and spend my weekends with people who value loyalty instead of convenience. Looking back, I realize Daniel and Emily didn't steal my future. They only removed themselves from it. When they asked me for a favor, they expected forgiveness to come with another sacrifice. Instead, they received something far more valuable, the chance to face the consequences of their own choices. Karma didn't arrive because I chased revenge. It arrived because I finally stopped standing in its way. And that was the most satisfying ending I could have ever imagined.